Hello, yes, another week in the life vlog. So I'm going to try and make this a bit shorter this week because last time was like over 50 minutes. It's just too long. And I noticed when I make them that long, less people watch. So I'm going to try and make it a bit more concise this week. Just be a bit more highlights of certain days. So this is week commencing 9th of May, Monday the 9th of May 2022, of course. So fuel prices as ever. My Shell card for UK Fuels is the cheapest again, which it has been lately. Not normally the case, but it's had a run of being the cheapest lately. So I'm going to be using that one again. It comes in at 145.65, which is 174.78, including the VAT, which is like ridiculous expensive. Anyway, even though it's the cheapest of the two cards. And the BWOC or WOC card, which is their own card, Control 4 Diesel C4D, uses the Key Fuels network. That's exactly 2p a litre more expensive before the VAT. So it's 147.65 plus VAT. Yeah, so fuel prices obviously went up. They shot up sort of mid-April, or mid-March was it? Yeah, mid-March. And then they're really high until like end of March, and then they dropped down a bit into April, and then they've kind of like gone up and down, and the last few weeks have just been going up like 2 or 3p a week, and now it's at the most expensive it's been since the end of March. So I kind of hope once this thing it's obviously not stopped the war in Ukraine and all that stuff, but it's kind of like settled down. It's nothing new anymore, is it? It's kind of like an ongoing war now. I'm sure I heard of the price of crude oil per barrel had come down. I heard that a while ago, but the fuel price at the pumps is still going the wrong way. So yeah, that's bad. Not the greatest news. So today's actually Tuesday. Yesterday, Monday, I didn't actually plan to have a day off. I had a few jobs to do in the morning before I started work, and by the time I'd done these jobs, it got quite late in the day, and I decided to take the whole day off and do a few other jobs I needed to get done. I think I got a bit of a cold as well. I picked it up with my son off the weekend. I went to visit them. So yeah, yesterday I was like doing stuff, sort of, trying to sort out a mortgage and stuff like that, all that other boring stuff. So I started this morning, and I thought, because I didn't work yesterday, I can't be starting at 10 again, so I've got to be starting earlier. So I did start at 9, could have maybe started earlier, or should have. And I thought today was going to be another blank or a no earnings day, because I started about 9. I didn't get a job until 1:45, so pretty much getting towards lunchtime. Starting to doubt whether we're going to get any job, or by that point the feed was really quiet, so I'd kind of hoped it picked up a bit for the weeks either side of Easter weekend. Kind of hoped it would stay at that. I think it's dropped off again, closer back to where it was, which is obviously really quiet. Not as bad as it was like January, February, March, but still pretty quiet for the West Midlands. So yeah, and that's working really, because I'm sat bidding on jobs. It's not as if like I know I'm not going to get a job for 4 hours, so I just can do other stuff for 4 hours and then bid and get that job. It's like I'm there watching the feed, working what I'm going to bid on, what I'm not, placing bids, quotes, that kind of stuff. And I was sat at my desk and in the house, I was kind of like looking at stuff online at the same time, because I had time to do it, because the feed wasn't particularly that busy or whatever. I'm watching a bit of stuff on YouTube. That shows how quiet it was in the West Midlands. I could do that. Eventually I did get a job pinged up. I knew the job, done it twice before, picking up in sort of north of Walsall, Burntwood kind of way. And it's always the same, picking up €3 pallets or wooden boxes, which have got metal castings in them, taking them up to Peterlee, which is where I am now. And I quoted it 165 for 172 miles, and I got 8 miles to get there, so that works out at 90p a mile, all miles. So it's one decent sized job for the Midlands, because it's hard to get a really long job for the Midlands unless you go to Scotland or Cornwall, something like that, because I'm in the middle of, the area I kind of work my sort of working area. So yeah, I went and picked it up, €3 pallets, like just over a ton, 1,010 kilograms or something. I know, I've done it 3 times now, I know exactly what's happening, where to go, how to strap it, which door to go to tip. And we got tip sharpish, weren't the quickest at the collection today. I think they were on their lunch when I got there. Didn't tip that till 5:30. There was a few jobs that pinged up this evening, but I didn't get them, so that's it for today by the looks of it. So yeah, 165 for the day. That's that. So if anyone knows Peterlee, there's quite a new sort of Lidl and Home Bargain sort of retail park, which is really close to the town centre, and there's no parking restrictions. So I've kept in this car park once before. I'll do the same again tonight. Don't think I'm not going to bother with the night heater tonight because it's going to be a bit warmer, a bit milder than the nights this week, but looks at the forecast. And also, my night heater started to get a bit noisy. Like it was last week. When I woke up in the morning and I put it on full blast to kind of burn off all the soot because I had it on low overnight. It got quite noisy, and I think maybe one of the bearings on the fans on the way out, so I need to check that out. So yes, much to do. Jobs keep piling up. Yeah, not. Don't know if you can tell from this introduction, I'm not massively motivated at the moment. Kind of really wanted to pick up, start earning decent money again, but it is what it is, and just got to keep plugging on and see what tomorrow brings. Right, Wednesday night now, just before 9. So again, just one job today. Not a great day, but not an absolute shocking day, but not great either. So kind of slipped up a bit first thing this morning. I set my alarm for 7:15, snoozed it, got up like just before 8. It just must have been tired to just fell back to sleep. And then when I did, I noticed there's probably 2 or 3 reasonable jobs that I'd missed in that time, which is strange because you don't normally get jobs like, particularly that part of the world can be quiet. It's a quiet part of the world, you wouldn't expect to get that so many decent jobs to bid on that early in the morning. So yeah, kind of kicking myself a bit there, and then there was jobs pinging up from then into the morning. It's not a busy part of the world. It's not totally dead. It was okay, I'd say, for that part of the world. The number of jobs pinging up, bidding on a fair few jobs, but took me a long time to get my first job. It took me until 11:30 on my only job. And I was literally like half a mile from it, or a mile from it. It was the industrial estate I dropped off yesterday. Went and pick it up. So I got there like 11:45, but I noticed when I got there on the job notes it said pick up between 12 and 12:30, which was strange. So I'm sure when the job was initially posted it said, just pick up immediately within the next hour kind of thing. Pretty sure. It's only 15 minutes, so I got loaded by, say, just after 20 past, and it was a JCB job. This job pinged up first, I quote, it's 170 miles loaded. I quoted 170 because I thought it's going to JCB blatantly, and it's, well, not blatantly, but more than likely, and it was a full ton, 1 pallet at 1 ton. And then they reposted it again without contacting me, so I thought, all right, maybe we're looking for it a bit cheaper. So I thought maybe I'll go in at 90 pence a mile, which is 155. So I did, and then they rang me and says, "Oh yeah, it is yours, but we're just having some issues with the system. Our new system, get it to work with the CX linked together. But the job is mine, so I went to collect it, and then I got the job before I got there, so it was okay." On the CX system, all good. So I did wonder with that, thought maybe they were going to give it me anyway, but then I went in cheaper, 15 quid cheaper. But anyway, got a job, got loaded, some big chunky metal slew rings they're called, for going down to JCB heavy products or something. ST10 just north of Cheadle, which of the JCB sites I've been to, this is the one that's got a long waiting time. and it was chocker when I got there, so I thought, Christ, I might be here for a while. Turns out in the end I was only there for an hour and a half, so got an hour's waiting time for that, 15 quid, so it did make it 170 anyway, which works out pretty much bang on £1 a mile, all miles, or maybe a shade under. And then I come down into Cheadle, gone to a Chinese, had some fried rice. There was a job on when I was waiting in JCB, which I bid on, which was picking up in Stoke at 8 o'clock tonight, going to Manchester ASAP. I quoted it 65 quid. It was 10 miles to get there, 55 miles on a job. I thought, if I can get that for 65 quid, £1 a mile all miles, bumps my day up to 235 with a good £1 per mile overall. That kind of like makes it into a decent day, and kind of makes up a bit for yesterday. But it was one of his ghost jobs. He rang me up, says if it happens it's yours, but I'm waiting on a customer. I'm not sure where it's going to go, happen or not. I'll contact you if it does. And they never heard anything. It's gone off the feed, so presume it didn't happen, or maybe he just got a better offer. You just don't know in that situation. Shipper I'd done work for before, but not for quite some time. We seem to be getting more work, this shipper. I think they're like growing. They were pretty decent to work for. Jobs are done for them. Yep, so that was today. So what was it, 165 yesterday and 170 today. So I worked out yesterday, I made at best £85 after costs, pre-tax and tax deductions, and today maybe 90 quid, which obviously isn't enough, is it? But I always tend to look at it average of a week and then a week to week basis. But yeah, it's definitely got quieter since them Easter weeks. I'm thinking that's a real struggle still so far this week. Hopefully I have a good day tomorrow or Friday to sort of save the week. You never know. Maybe I just had 2 poor days in a row and it's going to pick up the rest of the week, so that's what I'm hoping for. Right, Thursday evening now, about 20 to 6. So yes, how did today go? So really hoping for a better day today, make up for the 2 poor days to start the week. Obviously having not worked Monday. So how did it go? So I was sat in that, I tramped in that public car park right slap bang in the middle of Cheadle. There's no like parking restrictions or parking. You only pay for parking between 9:30 in the morning and 3:30 or something. So obviously you can tramp there fine, no trouble. It's on a bit of a slope, but it's doable. 7:30, 7:15. Got up a lot sharper today. I was watching the feed and ready to bid and stuff on stuff from 7:30. Got till 10:30. Still didn't have anything. So another like day really struggling to get a first job first thing in the morning. So that's 3 hours gone, nothing, no job. There were jobs pinging up, but nothing that close to where I was. And a few jobs that did ping up close to where I was were obviously coming from JCB sites and not very long jobs. So I was bidding on stuff, but I was too far away from it to be competitive price wise, and ETA was quite high. And then about 20 to 11, another job pinged up, which was blatantly a collection from JCB. It was the normal shipper that does most of the JCB jobs, but not all by any means. And it was going to Tamworth, and I thought, well, if I do that one, it's going to get me to Tamworth, and much easier to get a job from there. That's one of the areas where jobs have been pinging up in the morning, but I'm just a bit too far away from it. Sort of Tamworth, Lichfield kind of way. It was 33 miles loaded. I was 10 miles from it, so I quoted 60 quid. The only problem was it wasn't picking up till 12. I thought surely if it's, picking up at 12, it says not ready till 12, it's kind of like a time slot. It's going to be, hopefully. I never collected from JCB before. It's my first one. So I took a punt on it. He rang me up, the guy, and he says, you've got 55 quid on it. Oh, mate, can you do 55 quid? Kind of getting a sale. If you can do it for 55, I can send it straight over now. Some shipper employees running on the phone. It sounded a lot like salesmen. I just thought, yeah, I just need to get going, so I'll do it for 55. Job came through, it was still showing 60. So even though I'd agreed to drop it a £5, the opposite had to update the price, just hit send to me, and so I wasn't going to, tell them that. I just, whatever, I'll just do it for 60 then. So yeah, I had a bit of time to kill, because it's only like 15-minute drive. Got there at 12, and then usual thing, it's the main JCB here, where the headquarters one, not the place I was the other day by Cheadle, or last night. It was the one by closer to you, Toxeter, Roster, whatever, world headquarters, where the golf course is and the like country park next to it. And they just gave me one of these buzzer things, and then I sat in my van for an hour and a half till about 1:30, and the buzzer finally went off. So I went in, get your paperwork, go in, and I thought, right, happy days. So it's just going to be 60 quid plus I'll charge an hour's waiting time because I've been here an hour and a half. So I'll get like an extra 15 quid on a job. So I thought, once I'm in, I've always got untipped quickly, but I was going in to get loaded this time, and it was the Bay 9, if everyone's ever been there, the west part of it, which I'd never been to before. And I went round there, and there was 2 trucks in front of me, 2 Arctics, tipping, so getting unloaded. I didn't actually get onto the bay for another hour and a half, so that made it 3 o'clock. And then when I got there, I got out, and there's a guy there, not your normal kind of milling round. He was kind of like in the shirt, high vis vest on, but like a proper office shirt and trousers. And he goes, yeah, right. And I says, yeah, such and such courier, almost said them then, collection going to such and such engineering in Tamworth. And he goes, can I have a look at that? Give him the paperwork. He goes, yeah, this is gone, mate. It's already been collected. Obviously been a mix-up. So I parked up by this Bay 9. I was like a normal parking space there. Phoned the shipper, told them what happened, and a guy who told me this was a guy who's the name of the guy on the notes as the contact, so he's going to know what he's on about. And then I said, I'll ring the customer and get back to you. Got to 3:15, not heard anything back from the shipper. Rang them, they says, yeah, they still haven't got back to us, we'll call you. So they called me by 3:30, so I rang them again, same story. Rang them again at 4:15, sorry, 4:45. And he says, yeah, they haven't still got back to us. I'm going to have to get on the phone and chase them up again, find out what they want to do. Then they eventually rang me just after 4, the shipper, and says, yeah, they've messed up the book and it should have been the other way around or something, or I don't know. Probably didn't get the full story of what had entirely gone wrong, but I think it was JCB's or JCB's suppliers were at fault here, possibly, and not the shipper. I think that was definitely the case. Well, pretty sure that was the case. So I was sat on site for 4 hours. Obviously got your normal drive there, so obviously £25 cancellation isn't going to cut it for that, is it? So he says, how long you been there? 4 hours, just over 4 hours, or like 4.25 hours. More like 4 hours. And then he goes, well, yeah, going by our rates, that's about £58. But obviously we're negotiable. What would you like to charge? Or, what's your charge? I think I should have gone higher, but I said to him 70 quid. And he goes, can we do it for 65? And I just said, yeah, whatever, 65. And I thought about it after. Got the job. Well, obviously I took it on with a wait to get to collection. So you can't really count that, but you can kind of count the half an hour, say, driving time, even though they don't pay for it. It's factored into my price or whatever. It's kind of like, it's taking up half my day for 65 quid. And yeah, I just wouldn't go to, I don't think I'll do a collection from JCB again unless I'm desperate, but I'm desperate quite a lot at the moment because it's hard to get work. So never say never, really don't want to, but that's it. So yeah, in the morning, the only productive thing I did this morning, I did actually go through the front of the van with some dashboard wipes and spruce the front of the van up because there's not that many jobs pinging up, so you can do that while you're watching the feed. And then, so I've done 4:15, say. I just thought I'm going home, I've had enough. So that's where I'm sat now, drove home empty, just over 30 miles. So I've done 42 miles today. For 65 quid, but it doesn't matter what your pence per mile rate is if you're only taking that kind of money a day. Obviously, I'm aiming to earn after costs £150 a day, and I was pretty much doing that this time last year, and so far, like last week and this week, it's really hard to do that at the moment. It's a right struggle. So that was the Thursday Tale of Woe. Tomorrow, because I'm at home now, and tomorrow is obviously, I need to be home tomorrow night. It's pointless going on a long job, and when it's quiet, it's even harder to get back. It'll be too risky to go distance. So the options are stay in the van and just look for some local jobs, like min charge jobs, try and get 3 or 4 of them in, or jump in the car and do a bit of flex, but it should be a change. But because Amazon have dropped the length of the blocks down now, it's just not really worth doing. I don't really want to do work for Amazon because they're just going too far and being too tight. But it's an option, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. So Sunday evening now, so yeah, just to recap on Friday I didn't work because like I said, it was either stay local in the van or do flex in the car. And when I checked the weather forecast, it was a belting forecast for Friday, also Saturday, but Sunday today was actually showing rain all day, even though it hasn't rained today. But anyway, so I didn't work Friday because I thought I'll work Sunday and I'll do flex on Sunday. So I got 2 good days, 2 good weather days. Yeah, so Friday, Saturday, just doing sort of my own kind of stuff. Been a bit under the weather as well. Got a cold. Seems to be over the worst now. It's like a head cold. But when it came to it today, I didn't work. But I'll come on to that in a sec why I didn't work, because I found something much better to do. Not much more expensive to do. I've been spending money rather than earning money today. So yeah, in terms of my earnings this week, I'm not going to go into the numbers because I kind of mentioned on the day, on the Tuesday, Wednesday, what I'd kind of earn after costs. I think it was like 85 for the Tuesday and maybe 90 for the Wednesday, and I tramped out both them nights. I think, did I? 2 nights in a van. Maybe. I think it was. Yeah, it was 2 nights in a van, wasn't it? And then on just the £65 shocker day, JTB day on the Thursday, I worked out that probably earned me 45 quid, or less than that, 35 quid, sorry, for a whole day. So I was on it looking at the feed from 7:30. Kind of got clear of JCB after that absolute mess up by 4:15, and after costs, so minimal variable cost or per mile cost, because obviously I didn't do many miles, 42 miles included getting home, to be fair. So maybe I earned 45 quid that day. I've still got my fixed costs for the day, which covers insurance sort of thing, which is nothing to do with how many miles I do in a van. So for them 3 days, it's probably averaging, I don't know, worked out at 55, 60 quid, say, which is absolutely shocking. So yeah, it's a bit of it's a lot of a struggle still. Next week, it's not a vlog week, but I'm going to do a video on basically my financial results for the 2021-2022 tax year, because I did it way ahead of time because I wanted to get it done so I could apply for mortgages and stuff. So I thought I'd share them numbers with you. So I'm going to do that next week. That's the plan, at least. And then part of that, I'll sort of recap where I am in terms of my thoughts for the rest of the year and whether I'm going to stick in a van or go the truck route. I'll say more on that next week. But kind of as a spoiler, there's a good chance I won't have this van past the end of this year. If I do stick in it, I'll probably stick in it till once I've got a property, a flat or a house, and then I'll do my licenses, hopefully truck license. I don't know how long the lead time is and the waiting list for doing that at the moment. I need to look into all that stuff anyway. So there's a good chance if I do go that route and then I'll sell the van, I won't have a van. So I've made a purchase, something I wanted to do for a while, try for a while. Obviously with COVID and that, it's not really been a good time to do it. And having a van's really good, beneficial for doing this hobby. So have a look at this. My new toy, a Sherco ST250 two-stroke trials bike. Yeah, so that's what I purchased today. Went and saw a couple. First one, with hindsight, I almost bought it, to be honest, but with hindsight, it's a bit of a dog compared to the one I did buy, which looks a lot better. Not a massive purchase. It's like 2003, so it's pretty old now, isn't it? It's 17. Wasn't it 2003? So it's 20 years, nearly 20 years old, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know why I struggled with that. So, but yeah, it's in reasonable shape. These things are either very well looked after or not very well looked after, and it really shows, I think, in that kind of bike. So I'm gonna have a bit of a play on that this summer. Obviously, if I'd sold a van before I tried it, then I'd have to sort of, get a tow bar on a car, get a trailer and all that stuff. So I'm gonna try it now, and if it's for me, then I'll stick with it, and if not, then I'm gonna sell a van. I'll sell a bike as well. I do like to try new things. If you watched, I'm a bit of a petrol head at heart. I did a bit of trail riding about 9 years ago. It's been about 9 years until today since I last rode a bike of any description, so it was a bit odd when I test rode the first one this morning. Trying to remember how to ride a bike, and I've never ridden a trials bike. There's no seat or anything. You ride it stood up. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, so that's a bit of a on the side. Any comments as ever, please put them below. Please like and subscribe and all that jazz. At least this one's a lot shorter this week video. They have been getting too long, like 45-50 minutes is too long. So at least it's nice and short. Cheers for watching.